Will you see Dom Toretto driving an electrical car one of these days?
What was it like working with John Cena?
Well, similar to what I just said.
Next, we have Julie from Popcorn Movies Taiwan.
Fast and Furious has gone from, running bank heists and street racing to outright saving the world and even sending cars to space. So what are your thoughts on the evolution of the franchise in this respect?
Well, after 9 movies, you have to commit to defying expectations. You really have to think about what else can you do that could add a what spectacle moment. But what's been consistent is the fact that we've evolved the characters and we've somehow maintained this theme of family. So I feel great about that. But it is always challenging when you're making the next one. Justin and I were working 15-hour days for the whole last week on Fast 10. And it's always that moment when you're creating the next one where you go, okay, what do we do now? How do we, in terms of the action spectacle, you already have an idea, you've already mapped out the emotional storyline. Since, as you know, 9 is the first of the final trilogy, 9, 10.1, and 10.2, that will wrap up this era of mythology. But that's always the question, because you want to earn every single piece of it. And it's a testament to you all. You have been the best movie fans in the world, in the history of film. You have been there every single time. You've championed us, you've cheered us on, you've suspended physics so that you could enjoy the moment, but you've also followed these characters. And so it makes us want to reach higher. It makes us want to continue to make you proud.
As producers, do you wish there were any extra movie like Hobbs and Shaw in the future? And which character do you want to film the first?
Well, I had, a few years back, I had presented, the studio wanted me to already start creating these spin-offs. So I had presented multiple spin-offs for the future. One of them is the female spin-off that is already 3 years into pre-production. And then I have 2 others that you will hear about. That's just being, that's being a good partner to Universal. So as I wrap up this mythology, I still have to protect the Fast universe, and that will be done in these spin-offs.
Next, we have Julie from Popcorn Movies Taiwan.
Hi, Vin.
Hi.
Hi, in our Fast 6 interview, you shared with us a very personal and touching story of your son who fell and hurt his lips, needed to have surgery, and you sent Rihanna's song to him to calm him down.
A month and a half ago, my son was jumping with his older sister. He's 2 years old. And he jumped off the bed, and he had a pacifier in his mouth, and he ripped open his tooth. So his tooth was hanging, and it was bleeding, and I had to rush him to the emergency room. And when he was in the emergency room, they had to give him a shot because they were gonna have to do surgery. So I hold him down, and he's squirming, and we give him the shot. about 20 seconds, it starts to set in, and you see my son starting to relax. And he said, "Daddy, all along it was a fever, cold sweat, hot-headed believer." And he wanted me to sing to him while he was in that hospital bed to calm him down. And he wanted me to sing the Rihanna song.
And now he made his film debut in this one. How was the experience of being a proud father on set? I think Feel Like I Do might be the perfect song for it.
先跟大家解释一下，去年疫情期间，咱们冯迪索闲闲没事真的去圆了他的音乐梦，推出2首单曲。首播主打歌 Feel Like I Do 超级适合海边开趴，真的很难和唐老大的形象结合在一起呢。
How was the experience of being a proud father on set? I think Feel Like I Do might be the perfect song for it.
You know, Julie, I'm going to tell you something that you're probably not going to believe. It wasn't my idea for him to play young Dom. In fact, I think if somebody would have asked me, I might have said, well, that's a little tricky because, as you know, when you see the movie, I'm in that scene very present, and I have to be so dialed in to Dom that I'm able to emote all of these emotions without any words about a very personal moment, about a reflective moment with my father who is no longer here. So it might not have been the best idea to have his debut in the scene that his father is completely Dom and can't sit behind the monitor and coach him and applaud him. But it was Justin's brilliance to do it because it added something special in that scene. It added something real in that scene. As I'm looking in the past and trying to understand the message from my father, my son is looking at me. But what was so surreal was when we did get home and I was able to applaud him and tell him how proud I was, there was a moment when he saw me that I could see he had his father back, because the whole day that we were filming, he was on set with Dom Toretto.
So did you give him a hug?
I just literally just before this interview, I was giving him a hug.
Whoa.
There's a lot of things that came out of not going to set for a whole year. And one of them was searching for other outlets to be creative. And something that I've always wanted to do was music. And so because the last year, all the productions stopped, I had the opportunity to make music. So it's not something that I thought about before, and I wasn't, I guess in hindsight, I guess I would have thought about that, but I never even connected the two. Music was just an opportunity for me to be organic and to be artistic.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry, but we are out of time, so we do have to wrap up here. So thank you, everybody.
Is there anybody that didn't get a question that I could?
Can I ask the last one? 3 more.
Please, go ahead. Well, when we first started, we had to go to racing school. And it is definitely something that's very alluring. Not only did we have to do that, to go to racing school, to practice, we also had to go to stunt driving school because that's the majority of what you have to do when you're doing fast. But there were moments from the very beginning where Paul Walker and I used to go to illegal streetcar races. And we were doing that to become the characters. That's like, that's like the very beginning, that's the origins of this whole franchise.
Did you say illegal?
illegal. Yeah, illegal streetcar races in LA. Yeah,
Okay, thank you very much.
It was a very crazy time, but it made for a bond between Paul Walker and myself.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all we have today. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.